We've got a slower news week this week, but still a couple of things that are sure to cause some swings in the market. Starting off today, the UK GDP numbers came out worse than expected, forecasted to come out at 0%, but still managed to miss that, coming out at negative 0.1%. Later on today, the Australian CPI numbers will be released, expected to drop down to 8.1%. Tomorrow, the Bank of England's Governor Andrew Bailey will speak, and depending on what he has to say, we could see some big swings in the market. Tomorrow, we also have ISM manufacturing PMI numbers for the US dollar. And on Thursday, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's Governor Adrian Orr will speak. Similar to Andrew Bailey speaking on Wednesday, depending on what Orr has to say, we could see some big spikes. Finishing out the week, we have ISM Services PMI numbers for the US. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and hop into the market heat map. Let's see how all of our assets are trending so far today. And just by taking a look at this, there has not been a lot of movement other than, well, so for our currency pairs, we'll start off with our currency pairs here. GBP JPY, GBP CAD, GBP AUD, Euro JPY, GBP CHF, and NZD JPY are our biggest movers to the upside. GBP JPY being the biggest one so far, up 1% on the day. So pound pairs are making some moves to the upside, but look at all of these blue boxes relative to how many red boxes there are. There are not a lot of pairs that are down right now. Euro NZD, Euro USD, gold, and Euro GBP are really our only pairs that are moving. Not gold. Gold is not a currency pair, but gold still making moves to the downside so far today. Euro GBP being the biggest mover, down 0.28% on the day. And we're seeing similar things right here with our indices. NASDAQ 100, JP225, German 30, S&P 500 are pretty much just sitting around 0%. US 30 and UK 100 have shot down a little bit. US 30 down at 0.35%, the UK 100 down 0.71%. But yeah, just not a ton of movement other than some solid moves to the upside for these pairs up here. But other than that, everything is sitting kind of is kind of in a neutral standstill right now. Let's check out the watch list. And I'm going to remove these neutral biases. So let's get rid of these. And we are left with buys and sells. I'm going to remove any indices or commodities that we might have as well, just so that we are left with currency pairs, buys and sells. So we have a fair amount of buys, fair amount of sells. We have these same four strong sells these have been strong sells in the Edge Finder for close to 2 weeks now, I think. NZD USD, GBP USD, Euro USD, and Aussie USD, as well as USD CAD and USD ZAR have been up here as strong buys for a little while as well. So lots of dollar strength in the market right now. Perhaps we could take a look at a US dollar pair, perhaps AUD USD ahead of Australian CPI, which will be happening in a few hours. So why don't we check out AUD USD, our strongest score in the Edge Finder with a -10 score right here. COT data is a score of -1 and retail sentiment, COT data a score of -2, retail sentiment a score of -1. We can get into those numbers right over here. So COT data, or institutional trader data, for the US dollar comes out at 69.73% long, 30.27% short. The Australian dollar, on the other hand, 64.81% short and 35.19% long. So institutional traders clearly favored long on the US dollar and short on the Australian dollar here. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, retail traders 84% long, 16% short on this pair. So heavily favored on the long side from the retail traders. Our seasonality is a score of -1. We can see in the month of February, closing out the month of February today, that historically speaking, we do see just slight bearishness in AUD USD. Historically speaking, this pair does not tend to continue to make moves to the upside, making higher highs in the month of February. Typically speaking, we do see this pair trend downwards in the month of February. Our trend reading is a score of -2, and we can see a nice, strong move to the downside. It's actually come up just a little bit so far today, but over the past couple of weeks, this thing has just continued to move lower and lower and lower and lower. And so far, price forecast predicts that that will continue to be the case following the trend of the AUD USD over the past couple of weeks. Let's finish up with our fundamentals: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of -1 here. We can take a look at those numbers right over here. GDP growth for the US, 2.7% compared to just 0.6% in Australia. Australia's inflation, 7.8% compared to 6.4% in the US. Australia's unemployment, 3.7% compared to 3.4% in the US. And US interest rates higher than in Australia, 4.75% compared to 3.35%.
So let's zoom in here, see if we get any sort of major reaction. We've got about 30 seconds out. We're going to keep dollar CAD on the screen. Maybe we'll throw one other one up there just for good measure. See if we can find CAD JPY again, see if this one does anything of interest. And again, about 20 seconds here, guys, until the release. And we'll see if we get any. So again, news always going to be related to or dependent on unexpected numbers. So let's see what we get out of CAD GDP here this morning. All right, and CAD GDP numbers should be coming in here, and there it goes. Dollar CAD making a move up. CAD weakening here a little bit this morning, so perhaps something there. Getting about 10 pips, nothing serious there. Not a lot of movement on the CAD yen. So now a little bit more follow through there. 15 pips or so, probably as expected reading just based off the reaction. Let's see if that is the case. I'm going to guess that is a 0% change, as that didn't cause too much volatility. Oh, actually it was negative, less than expected. So that is explaining a little. The up there goes. So now talking about 15 pips here to the upside for dollar CAD bulls. CAD yen now declining. There it goes. Now it's moving. A little bit of a delayed response there, but yeah, wow. So GDP in Canada coming out minus 0.1% compared to the 0% expected. And so seeing a little bit of weakness on the Canadian dollar. And again, remember guys, we saw that big money, it's not 100% of the time correct. Don't get me wrong, but big money has been on the sell side of the Canadian dollar. We've talked about this for a while from the data that we have on the Edge Finder. If you don't have access to the Edge Finder, by the way, we do have a free version available. We just added some new features to the free version. If you don't have the free version, we're going to drop a link in the chat real quick. Click this link that's being dropped. You can fill out this form and you can access the data for free. It might be helpful to you. A lot of traders are using it. We have, it's kind of cool. I go on the website and I can see there's dozens of people sometimes just using the Edge Finder free, which is really, really cool for us to see on the developer side. So grab the free version if you don't already have it. It supports us just by you checking it out and, share it with a friend, whatever. So thank you for the support there. So grab access to the data. We just dropped that link in the chat there for you. So let's see. We had some more things we wanted to talk about. I am currently, as I mentioned, I am short Euro USD and about break even on my trade. Let me go ahead and go full screen on this Euro USD trade. This is my only trade currently as we speak. I am currently short Euro USD. I think Frank, to update the positions tracker down below, Chandler, I believe that Frank is long S&P 500. Let's go spy. Let me go check and see if that is the case. I know I got an alert at 7 a.m. Let's see. Yeah, so Frank picked up a long trade, S&P 500. 39.87. Yeah, he picked up a trade this morning. So Frank is long 39.84. Yeah, Frank is long S&P 500. Just checked on that. So there you go. Frank is long dollar. He's long S&P 500. Look at that S&P 500 pulling back a little bit here. This is an intraday chart here. Let's take a look just real quick, see if there's any post news reaction on the CAD pairs. There's Euro CAD pushing up, and again, This one, I tried to take some sells on it. Didn't quite work out very well. But not really my favorite chart there. Let's see. Can you take a look at pound USD? Sure. Let's look. Pound USD, see what's going on. Wow, look at the pound, guys. The pound rallying really strong. This one did a lot more to the upside than I was expecting. Look, all of my levels that I thought would hold did not hold. Here's the thing with trading, right? With trading, you can have all the analysis in the world. You can do all the chart markups. You can do all the fundamental analysis and still get it wrong sometimes. And the reason that I talk about that so frequently on my channel is because a lot of times people, when you're like watching them on social media, they'll act like they always get the markets right. And they'll only show you when they get the right markets right. But I try and show both because I think that it's like really misleading when you only ever see people like, they're like, oh, well, look, I bought it right here. Look how smart I am. And, so on and so forth. The point though is that profitable trading doesn't rely on you being right every time. You can be very profitable overall and be wrong very often. And the sooner you sort of like unlock that in your head and think about it that way, and you're like, oh, well, as long as I'm managing my risk, keeping my losers small, but then letting winners really work, I can be profitable. That made a huge difference for me in my trading. Keeping the losses under control when they are, when they happen. So, yeah. So the thing is, I mean, in my own trading, I lose more often than I win. It's about 45 to 55%. So let me show you this. 45% of my trades are winning trades. 55% of my trades are losing trades. And so for the average new trader who like comes in and watches me trade or something like that, they'll see that and they'll be like, only 45%, that's terrible. But the point is, when I take a good trade, I let it really, really run. And that's how overall, when we've been able to produce positive results, it's all about letting the right trades run and stopping out very quickly for small losses, make them painless little losses when you're wrong. I know Frank is also, he's been really profitable on the dollar recently and looking for another dollar trade. So here's the dollar chart, DXY. 4-hour overall, looking really, really strong. You can see here, we've tagged a level of support and we're watching to see if this one can hold, if this thing can continue to rally back into the highs. That's kind of our target for the dollar. Part of the reason why I'm currently short euro against the US dollar. I'm not going to lie, guys, the one that I really wish I was in was that dollar yen trade. But hey, you know what? It happens. It really, sometimes you have a trade and you're so right about it, but the entries, the exits are the tricky part and you get whipped out. So yeah. Abdullah says he wants to join the VIP, but I don't have a credit card. Abdullah, well, you can send us a message on our support line. One of my staff members will help you out. We have several people available to chat with. If you want access to that conversational point, here's what you can do. You can go to a1trading.com. There's a live chat feature in the bottom right-hand screen. So when you're on our website, just go to a1trading.com, live chat feature. You'll be able to chat with one of my staff members right away.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free Edge Finder, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.